I've got a special treat. I am going to my friend Claude's house. Claude is going to be having some helical piles inserted and a jack plate to raise the corner of his shop. His shop, the back corner of his shop has dropped about 1.5 inches, and he noticed it because the rain gutters the water was coming out the wrong end of the rain gutter. With a slope on a rain gutter, it should pour out the spout, and it was coming out the other side, and that's how he noticed that his shop had dropped. And so we dug out the foundation holes so the guy could get in there with his machine. But I'm very interested to watch the machine work because I've got one of these on order to put my shop together. So that is the plan right now. We're going over to Claude's. So I'm at Claude's house, and they are getting ready to put this helical pile in. This is a big screw that goes down into the ground, and then it supports his foundation. My intent is to build my shop with these, and so I was real anxious to come out and look at how they did this. For Claude, he's got a footings that have dropped from this corner over here. Let's see, that corner over there has dropped, and so they're going to put these screws down into the ground with a plate, and then they jack that plate up, and it lifts the foundation back to where it's supposed to be. So let's watch and see what they're up to. So it looks like as the screw goes down into the ground, it's hitting rocks and stumps or whatever is down there, and that's causing the pipe to kind of move as it's happening. I'm real impressed at how close they can get the head of that driver up to the building. I was curious how that was going to happen, how the pipe would be up close to the foundation yet not bump into the building. Let's go watch some more. So here's the problem, is that Claude's foundation cracked. You can see that it goes clear to the edge there. Comes around here in a half moon shape and goes right back over here. He noticed a split in the sheetrock at the top. So that was one of the things that kind of clued him in that maybe there was a problem going on. And so it's this whole corner right here that it's dropped. And by putting those pilings in, we're going to actually raise that corner of the building up. So they screw that down into the ground until the head reaches a certain torque. And that torque equates to load bearing. So on the first one they did, right here, it screwed down within the 7 feet or so of the first helical pile. It got the torque level it wanted. The next one he did in the middle there, it's just screwed right down into the ground. So they're going to have to put a extension on it and continue screwing down in until it reaches that torque level. That equates to, I think he said 20,000 pounds. He hit this one here. The first one was 20,000 pounds. So I think that's what they're shooting for. Yeah, pretty neat stuff. He's got to weld a coupler on to add the next extension piece. at that.
I dig. Now I got you. Kind of mismatched. That one's a blue rock there.
Well, here's kind of a unique thing I learned about Alaska and construction is the insulating of your slab. So you put foam along the footers, and it's a combination of 4 feet. So whether it's a foot down and 3 feet out, or 2 feet and 2 feet, but you can see there's foam buried underneath here, and that keeps the frost from getting underneath and frost heaving your foundation. That's why they insulate the slabs like this. If you look closely, you can see the laser. They scribed a black line on the foundation and the laser where the foundation was when they started. Now they've got 6 posts and 6 jacks, and they go around and put a pump or 2 on each one and slowly raise it. Of course, the ones in the corner will get more. The ones towards the outer edge will get less. Now if you look at the laser line, you can see how far they've raised the foundation already. See right here where the foundation is starting to lift up off of the dirt. Just a little pump on, each one slowly. They're kind of monitoring what's happening with they got a level inside. And yeah, it's just primitive jacks lifting it up. Seeing some cracks inside in the sheetrock maybe. We heard some cracks and pops and things, and we're seeing some little shifts in the sheetrock. We've got this level here. He said it's got a hydraulic fluid in it. Once you set it at 0, then it changes, measures up to a 1/16 of an inch. We're in here while they're jacking it up, and we can hear all the noises, the creaks and the pops and the. Now, are you seeing new cracks in the sheetrock, or were those there before?
I didn't notice that one.
Okay. No, that's a little. It's just a little. Yeah.
That's tighter.
Oh yeah. There was a crack up there, wasn't there? So we're just seeing things like this here, where this gap is closing up now.
Yeah.
The crack is closing up, and the crack up here.
That's almost gone. Yes.
So you can see how much it was lifted. Of course, that corner was low, so it's gradually tapers. Here you wouldn't see as much. Here you wouldn't see as much of a shift, but it's quite a lift off the dirt there. Really, really fantastic. So they said they've got this corner here to about 1/8 of an inch, and I said, well, why stop at 1/8 of an inch? Why not make it perfect? They said that as they're making the adjustments, if they get to a point where they're making adjustments, it's not making a change, then that means that energy, that force of the jack is going somewhere else in the building. And you can bow the walls out, you can pop windows out, it goes into your rafters. Something's happening where the energy is being transferred elsewhere. And so that's why at some point they decide it's time to just stop. So they got it within 1/8 of an inch of where it's supposed to be, and it should be good. So then they come along and they'll weld this up. They'll weld the pipe to the bracket, the collar, once everything's set in place, and it doesn't really matter what the welds look like. He's just using a stick welder because it's all going to be covered and buried back up. But that's it. Well, that's about it for Claude's project. I think next is he's going to look into getting some company to come in. They drill holes in the slab and they pump foam underneath just to keep that void under there from filling up with water or moisture or whatever. But that's it for the helicoil project. We may have more of that when the shop build comes along.
We're gonna get rid of our 1982 bar stools. Although these do kind of look a little bit retro online, so I don't know, we'll see. But I kind of like them, so I think they're gonna go with my new kitchen style. You got nice big wide bottoms. Lay down. Lay down. It's like Christmas. You just throw all the stuff all over the floor. Look at that. Yeah. Perfect.
We hear you. We've heard you. We bought things to make the microphone not make funny noises when we're bumping around. So hopefully the audio will get much better for you. Now we can record in doubly. Drop a comment if you know where doubly comes from.
Doubly.
There is a trapping website, Facebook group, I think, called Animals Don't Cover Their Tracks, where people post pictures of tracks of various animals to get input on what kind of animal they may be. And I would just like to submit this one. I'm certain nobody will get. If you can see that pattern on the garage floor, that is the track of the elusive border collie licking the salt off the floor of the garage. We are making enchiladas today. It's not rocket science. Rebecca cooked the chicken in the Instapot, and so we're making chicken enchiladas. The secret is Denison's chili con carne with beans, not Hormel, not any of that other stuff. Don't get the fancy red hot. It's just the regular old Denison's if you can find it. We got Old El Paso. I don't always use that brand, but we just like the mild. You spice it up too much and it can get spicy real quick. So using Old El Paso. We got some homemade tortillas. We already talked about homemade tortillas. We got some rocks.
We polished up our rocks.
It's like Charlie Brown. I got a rock.
And a rock. They're cool rocks.
So the Denison's is on the stove just to heat it up. I don't know. I think it just mixes the grease in a little bit. Sometimes I make that with brown hamburger, you know, brown it or sausage. But this one we're doing chicken. I just pour those into like a pie pan, or I don't know what this thing's for, but it works well.
It's for quiches.
Oh, so there is a use for a quiche thing. A good use, I mean.
Making quiches.
Look at that. Denison's chili con carne with beans. It's magical. Maybe one of the only products I still believe in. So I like to get an assembly line kind of going. And I'm not sure where my line is at this point. Let's make sure we're ready to go with this. I believe we are. Yep. Just set it in there. Flip it over. Let it soak a little bit. I knew I was missing something.
What?
Pick a towel or towel. Go between the things here. There we go. Need a drip thing so you don't make a mess. Oh my goodness. Yeah, whatever. Alright, so you just throw that in there. And your hands get all messy. Everything gets a little messy. Add a little chicken here. Add some Denison's right here. Across there. A little more right in the middle. Add some cheese. And then you roll it up. Just like that. Push them up there, pack them in the tray. How many are we making?
A whole tray worth?
Huh?
Like a whole tray?
One tray? Two trays?
Probably if you have 2 trays.
Here. Okay. Push him up there, kind of pack him in so he's with his friends. Chicken.
When my mom used to do chores around the house, she had a little clicker. She used to make noise with her mouth. So
Oh, she was ticking off things as she...
So when you say chicken, chili.
That's what it sounds like. I sound like your mom? Is that what you're saying?
My mom.
Yeah, that's a different movie. You could probably use boring old store-bought tortillas if you wanted. Roll it up in there. He's pretty happy with his friend there. Okay, so then you take the leftover sauce and you just pour it over the top of your enchiladas like that. Some leftover beans, you can put them on there. Just kind of scatter them around. You want a lot of cheese on top of this? More than I put on the correct one?
You're gonna do it right.
Jeez, you can't even see the enchiladas.
Perfect.
So that's the wrong way to do it. Way too much cheese, no chili. It's gonna be a catastrophe, I'm certain. That is enchilada making. We'll pop them in the oven. We'll show you what they look like when they come out. There it is. Finished enchiladas. That, folks, is the whole enchilada. Thank you so much for watching. We are driving the Alcan right now, so we got some great stuff coming. We do appreciate you liking and subscribing and sticking with us. Thanks so much.